Says we're live. It's Monday morning at 9 o'clock. And actually, to get me up at 9 o'clock is sometimes rare. I'm not usually a morning person sometimes, but to have our guest on today, I said, "Hey, I'll get up and we'll get up at 9 o'clock and get her on here." So one thing I'm doing today, if you guys are watching on Facebook, this is the first time ever. You say, "What is Patrick doing on TV on YouTube doing a live stream?" And well, this is what I've been doing. I started about a year ago. I'll give a little bit of background before we welcome out our guest. About a year ago, I started doing YouTube when I had closed up the restaurant and was looking for something that I could do that didn't involve strenuous work. And I started, I've been reselling on eBay since 1998. I started, said, well, I got to do something. Can't sit around the house and do nothing. So I started selling on eBay full time and started selling on Amazon. I didn't know much about selling on Amazon, and I knew I had to do better selling on eBay. And I started Googling and going on YouTube, and I discovered that there's a whole network of people like myself doing reselling and in different forums and doing YouTube. So I decided to get on the the bandwagon and start selling and doing YouTube and doing videos. I started actually last January, and I actually yesterday just passed 2,000 subscribers. It's been a lot of work, a little over 300 videos, and have hosted different shows like this where I bring on people that can relate and do the same business. I did start a little early. We got a couple people in here right now, and as I'm sure as we get a little bit further into it, we'll have more people come in as the notification comes out. We got Heather, the reseller, in here, Green with Envy Thrifter, and Myra right in here right now. So if anyone wants to do a question or a comment, please do. I'll put the banner up there. You can ask questions in the chat. I'd greatly appreciate it. There's John, Dad's Vintage Garage. Thank you for stopping by. Good morning, John. How are you today? Thank you for stopping. And if you guys are commenting on Facebook, this is the first time streaming to both. I pay for the service with StreamYard, and I hope everybody enjoy the show. We typically do. If you guys are wondering what Patdees 168 is, I basically came up with that title when there's 168 hours in a week, and I really try to be conscientious of our time and what we're doing with it, and balancing it all out, and part of doing the show and meeting great people and stuff like that. So junking, got a Patty. Oh, I think I just got the notification that we're live. So I met our guest, Misty. I think I saw her on another show, and I had reached out to her on Instagram. And part of Patdees being the traveling picker is sort of like American Pickers, where I travel the country looking for neat things to buy and sell and flip online. And during that process, you meet some amazing people and different people, and I like to bring them to my YouTube channel and let the world meet them and explain what they do and what they sell and how they make a living. And it's worked very well for me that I've met a lot of people that have given me advice, and I think I'm becoming a better seller and stuff. I can see it with the numbers and the different things that I'm doing, but really from the social aspect, I enjoy meeting a lot of these people. So I am going to bring out Misty. And here in a second, I just want to make sure I haven't missed anyone. Said hello. We got about 13. Hey, Georgina, thank you for stopping by. Infamous Big Red. Big Red is my. There, we got more people coming in. The notifications. Maureen, thank you for. And one of the things I could do is I can highlight. Big Red is my son. Don the Bargain Hunter's in here. Infamous Stacker. James, he lives actually in my area. I live in the Poconos, about 20 minutes east of Scranton, Pennsylvania. So if you guys are watching, I appreciate it. And if anyone hasn't subscribed to my channel, if you guys, I'd really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. And in the link below is Misty's channel that you could sign up and one thing we're going to do, and I'll mention that real quick before she comes out, is she came on the show today, and I had mentioned to her about doing something for our guests, our viewers. And she said, sure, so she said she would donate $20 value into her store, and she does auctions, and she'll explain that. But what I want to do is to encourage people to stay and watch the whole show, or if you're listening while you're driving, is I will hold up a little flashcard like this, and the first clue it's going to be a movie. And I will do that probably every 10 minutes. And then at the end, I will ask you guys basically with all those clues to give me an answer. And the first one to use in Misty's auctions or store, or her eBay store, or whatever platform that she's selling. She has a lot of great items. She's going to come on today for a little bit of show and tell. And for the people that are watching this in the replay, you can't fast forward up to the end and know the answer. But what Patdees is willing to do is in the comment section below, type in what the answer will be, and I will pick one person randomly, and I will send 5 free DVDs. And that'll be just a little thank you for coming. So we got 21 people in here now. Real quick, I'm going to say Georgina, hi, Adam, John Jones, Lisa, thank you guys for coming. But let's bring out our guest. I'm excited. Let me make sure she's back there. She was enjoying the I think that she was doing the coffee and the catering and stuff. So let's bring her out. So, hey, good morning, Misty.
Hi. Hello. Hi, everybody.
How are you today?
I'm great.
Good. Hey, I want to thank you for joining us this week. We were supposed to do the show last Monday, and I got a message. I think it was the night before, basically, that our son was feeling well, if we would reschedule. And I'm like, sure, no problem. We'll do it this week. And
I appreciate it. It was a crazy week last week.
Yeah, not a problem. I really appreciate you willingness to do the show. A lot of times it's hard to get them on camera because, but I knew that I've been watching your videos, and I think you have a great talent on camera and talking to people. So you're not afraid to do this.
Nope, not at all.
Why don't you tell people where you're from,
okay,
and your YouTube name, and how you kind of came up with that YouTube name?
Okay. Well, I am the Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter, and because I am all those things, I thrift. It's very rare that you get to do something that you enjoy to do so much, and it's your job. And I have always frequented the thrift stores. I go to yard sales, I go to estate sales, I go to auctions, anywhere that I can find vintage treasures is what I like to call them. I am in Bedford, Indiana, which is we're about an hour north of Louisville and an hour south of Indianapolis. So there's really a wide variety of different places that we can go, looking for things, whether it be like a rural setting or the big cities. So we're kind of in that big mixture of different kinds of things. I own a brick and mortar antique store in Bedford called Wildflower Antiques. And we've recently decided to, I want to say, close our brick and mortar. Because honestly, when I spend more time doing things online, I make more money doing it that way versus waiting here all day, having people come in, and not everybody buys things. I mean, there are some days you would be here all day and you might make $100, and
Right.
It just wasn't worth the time. But we are reconfiguring the shop. A lot of people were upset that we were closing because we do have a lot of loyal customers that did come in all of the time. But we are going to reconfigure the shop and make it to where I am having a retail space as well as a big space to do my reselling. This building is 2,500 square feet. So it's plenty big for me to have a retail space and then have space for my reselling business.
So are you at the end of the day, are you going to still have a shop and just downsize it?
It's going to be an occasional store, because the thing of it is I don't want to be on a schedule either. I know that sounds pretty petty, and my husband always says, "Oh, poor baby," because
the Poconos about 20 minutes.
You have to be on a schedule.
Right. Well, yeah, because when people feel like you're supposed to be there 9 to 5, you better be there 9 to 5. But yeah, I get it with people, and maybe you'll find some hours where you could do it twice a week and be there like 11 to 5, and that's it.
That's kind of what I'm figuring. Once I kind of get a new schedule,
Right.
and I'm used to, instead of working out of my home, I'm working here, and I have like a vibe going to where I'm getting my shipping done, getting my listing done, and then I can go ahead and just put out on Facebook or put out on social media that I'm going to be open a little bit today. You can stop on in. But I got to get into that new vibe first.
Right. And kind of train people to know that that's what you're doing. Now, let me ask you, are you worried that your place is a sourcing opportunity that people bring stuff to you that you'll lose out on that, or do people bring stuff to you?
They call me. The way I've always handled it in the past is when people, sometimes they would bring things in, but more times than not, they would come in and say, I have this, and this. And, there are certain things that you can sell in a brick and mortar. Well, in my area, for example, like the glassware does not sell locally. Right. I cannot hardly give it away, but I can sell it online. So a lot of times what I would tell people to do is take some pictures and send me some pictures, and then we'll go from there. And usually I'll go out to their house, take a look. We just did it yesterday. I have people that will call me and say, we're trying to clean out this house. We have some stuff. We thought you might want to see it. But then you're in that fragile dance of offering, what you want to pay for it. And they know, most of the time they'll say, now I know that you're trying to resell this stuff. So I know that you're not going to pay retail, because, they'll look at stuff up on eBay, a lot of times, and they'll say, well, this was worth this, or they'll say they were selling for this. And I always say, well, were they selling for that? Or was that what they were asking for? Because there's a big difference there.
Well,
but a lot of
right. And even, I know being a seller, sometimes like trying to teach my kids that help me, you could have one item sell for 30, but still have 70 of the same thing, and only one sold for 30 and 70 other aren't selling. Right. So you got to find that balance on that, because sometimes people think everything has a value and sometimes it just doesn't.
I went to a yard sale last year or the year before that, and I just walked up to the yard sale and I walked away, because attached to every single thing there was an eBay listing that they had printed out. Oh, and I was like, that's not how a yard sale works.
Right.
If you want to sell it on eBay, sell it on eBay.
Right. Exactly.
Like, this is not how a yard sale is supposed to work, people.
Yeah. Now, how long have you had a brick and mortar store?
Almost 5 years. And a lot of people, when I say we've closed, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. But, we closed because we wanted to, not because we had to. We were only open on the weekends anyway, but really not having a weekend off in 5 years when you have a family is tough. And, we just kind of decided that we weren't making a ton of money having the brick and mortar open, and the time that it was taking away from our family wasn't worth the time it was to be here all weekend.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we are very blessed that the building is paid off. We don't have a mortgage. So, we don't have that added stress, because the antiques business is hard to have a mortgage or on a building. Because, you do have those slow periods where, sometimes it just takes one day of someone coming in and buying, a piece of furniture for $1,000. But then the day before that, you've made 20.
Well, right. If you go 4 or 5 days and you have a snowstorm and the cash flow's not there.
It's tough.
What now? Let me ask you, what did you do prior to doing? You said you just started this 5 years ago. What did you do prior to?
Well, I've been selling on eBay since like 2005, but not full time, just kind of for a little bit of extra money. You know, it was a part-time thing. I was a teacher. I taught preschool for years, and I actually owned a preschool for about 4 years as well. And then I worked for the school system. I helped kids that were struggling readers. I would help them get their reading levels up. So I was a reading teacher.
Oh, okay. And what made you kind of get out of that? Like what was the vision that you had to do this?
Well, my dad has been an antique collector and dealer ever since I was born.
Oh, okay.
There's Rachel. Hi, Superior Girl Vintage. I can't see the chat unless Pat pulls it up on the screen. So if you're saying hi to me, I'm not ignoring you. I can't see you. So hi, Rachel. I saw Rachel's comment.
Yeah, what happened is in the background of StreamYard as I'm able to highlight it. So you don't have YouTube pulled up? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm on my phone.
Okay, right. So if I highlight it, that's how you can see it. All right.
Yeah,
so if anyone has
go ahead.
If anyone has a question for Misty, I will highlight it and then she'll see it and I'll read it to her. So thank you for everyone that stopped in and joined us this morning.
Yeah, and if you're not subscribed, if you're subscribed to me and you're not subscribed to Pat, make sure that you subscribe to Pat and give him a thumbs up. So if you're here, you might as well, just thumbs up. You're watching, do the thumbs up. But my dad's been an antique dealer since I was born. I've been around antiques my entire life. He set up at antique booths, and it's always been his dream to have a brick and mortar store. Now, my husband and I are from Anderson, Indiana, which is about 2.5 hours north. And that's where my dad was still living. So my husband actually walked around the square here in Bedford, and any empty building, he found out who owned it, and he asked if they wanted to sell the building. Our square is going through a revitalization, so there were a lot of buildings that needed work. Now that the property value is increasing because a lot of businesses have been moving back to the square and opening boutiques and restaurants and that sort of thing. So we had a chance to buy this building, and we did, and then but it was in bad shape. So we completely remodeled the building. We remodeled the upstairs and put in an apartment for my dad. So we sold his house and moved him up there. But his house, he had a 3-bedroom ranch house and he was single, filled with antiques. So we already had inventory. His whole life, he has bought and sold antiques. So we started out with a lot of inventory. Now we buy stuff all the time, and that's the fun of it. But a lot of this stuff we've had for 30 years or more. So that's kind of the reason why too, it broke my heart a little bit to close the brick and mortar, because it's always been his dream to have one, but he doesn't do any of the work.
Right.
He goes and buys the stuff, but he doesn't do the paperwork or the taxes or the pricing or run the cash register or anything else. And in fact, when it gets 2 people in here, he goes upstairs. He doesn't want to be around a bunch of people. Yeah. So
hey, real quick,
we're trying to balance it out.
Thank you, Adam, for the super chat. Congratulations on 2K. Thank you. Real quick, now Misty is going to donate $20 to a winner today. So I'm going to hold up real quick. The first one, again, was movie. So if you guys are lit, so that's the first clue to the answer, movie. So in about another 5 minutes, I'll give another clue. Now, I asked Misty today to come and kind of bring a little show and tell, like we were back in 2nd grade. I kind of want to get an idea of what she sells, and then she's telling me that she's doing auctions and stuff now too, and she can go into depth about what she's doing with that. And she's not going out of business, she's just basically changing her business plan around with having open there all the time. So if you could show us some things, Misty.
Yeah, I'm going to be going live Wednesdays now. I used to go live on Fridays, and my viewers, this is going to be new to them because they're used to be going live on Fridays. But I'm going to have Wildflower Wednesdays, and they're kind of an auction, but the way that I do this is it's the first person to comment gets it. So if I hold something up and they want it, they're the first to comment, they get it. And then they email me their shipping address and their PayPal email. I send them an invoice and I ship it out. So that's the way that it works. But I will go ahead and show you everything that the things that I'm going to show you today are the things that are going to be in my Wednesday auction. So it's kind of
it's going to be this Wednesday?
It's going to be this Wednesday at 9 a.m.
Oh, 9 a.m. Okay. Do you do typically all your auctions early in the morning?
I've tried it a couple different ways, and the ones that I've done in the mornings have been better for me than the ones that I've done in the afternoons. But the thing of it is, and I try to tell people this, I don't always sell everything like right away. That's odd that would ever happen. So if you watch it later on and you see something that you're interested in, you can send me a message. My email's in the description, and say, hey, do you still have, that coffee mug? Yeah, I do. And then so you can watch it later on and you'd still have a chance to buy something, because I don't auction everything. Not everything sells. Sometimes I'll sell something a week, 2 weeks later.
Right. And sometimes I think people have to understand what you're doing, because they might just assume that you're just showing stuff, not understanding that it's for sale. Hey, a quick question. How did you decide to become a YouTuber?
Well, I don't know. I by watching YouTube videos, and I just thought, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that too. So, and if you have a YouTube channel, you know that it isn't an instant thing, and it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of time away from things that are actually making you money.
Right.
Because I still don't make a ton of money on YouTube, right. Not even close to the amount of work that I put into YouTube.
Right.
But I enjoy it. I feel like I'm able to talk to the people because I have people that buy from me every single week. Every week they buy something from me every single week. And so
people from YouTube, Misty?
Yes.
See, that's what I like about. I wouldn't have not met you had it not been YouTube, because I saw you on there, and then I reached out to you on Instagram, and this is how we've gotten to know each other.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing. And honestly, you do get some negative feedback on YouTube, and I kind of laugh at it sometimes. I'm like, oh, well, or you'll post a video and within like 30 seconds you have a thumbs down. They haven't even had time to watch the video.
I had one or two. I didn't have none yet today, but I've had one or two before we started. Sometimes I'm thinking, what did I say?
What a thumbs down's engagement, so they're just helping you out. I mean, that gives you engagement. That's what YouTube wants. So thumbs down isn't hurting you. Might hurt your pride a little bit, but I just am like, well, whatever. You're still helping me out by giving me that thumbs down.
I've learned not to kind of take it to heart anymore. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, and whatever.
Be yourself, because people ask me, how should I want to start a YouTube channel. What should I do? You have to be entertaining to watch, for one.
Right. You have or educational in some sense.
And educational.
Right.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah, it all kind of the intonation of your voice and how you're projecting yourself. I think what helps me a little bit is I've grown up in the theater. So I've been active in a lot of community plays and things like that. So I think that helps. And also teaching. I'm used to, to teaching and educating children.
Right.
But I can carry that through, for my teachings as well. And I learn from my viewers all of the time. I don't know everything that there is to know. I have certain areas that I know more about than others. I have never really been a big fan of glassware, so I don't know a lot about it. But glassware is big in the antiques biz, and I'll show something, and I may have gotten the name wrong, or the marking, it didn't have a marking, so I'm just kind of guessing. And they let me know, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Right. Grimes Finds is in here. I don't know if you know him or not, Justin.
Yeah.
He's been growing a lot fast. He has an auction house down there in Texas, and I've become friends.
Yeah.
He's a mod on my channel. I'm a mod on his channel, and
He
I appreciate him in the room support. There's a guy that
he
has
he,
lots of
he
fun.
watched he watched one of my premiere videos, and at first he said, "What is this?" And I think I said, "Oh, it's just girly stuff," because it was a Valentine. Because I do a lot of home decor with thrifted items on my channel as well. And he said, "Oh, I like this kind of stuff. Ask my wife. I
Yeah,
like decorating."
he's a good guy. I appreciate him even just stopping by to show support and stuff like that. Like you said, like my background is having a restaurant and having employed 800 people. The talking is the easy part. It's just getting people that are interesting like yourself that people want to see and learn from. That hey, maybe I can do that. And this is why I try to have a variety of people. And
Absolutely. It's a great idea. And you're giving a lot of people some exposure that they're just starting out, or, you're giving them exposure so people can kind of meet them for who they are and not necessarily their content. They get to know the person behind the content.
Yeah, and I've had a variety of channels. So, all right, how about we start out with what you want to show to our, and I'll give a second clue while you get that ready. It's lady.
Okay.
Lady. So the first one was movie, second one was lady.
Take notes, people.
Take notes. We want you to watch the whole show, and then at the end you're gonna guess, and
Right. So, and also, the things that I show are on my videos, on my live streams that I do now on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. is things that the prices that I have on them are the prices that they were priced in the shop. So we live, like I said, in Southern Indiana. Our prices are a lot cheaper than
I've noticed that. Yeah, I've seen something. Do you remember a couple weeks ago I was asking if you had any lunch boxes?
Because I'm getting ready to show one.
I like the metal lunch boxes. So
yeah, I'm getting ready to show one. I have a couple that I have listed on eBay, a really rare Flintstones lunchbox. I do well with lunch boxes. In fact, I did have a guy come in here one day with a box full of metal lunch boxes.
Yeah.
Full. And I think I paid him $100 for like 15 metal lunch boxes.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just gave him a number. We looked at them, and most of them had thermoses. They were in great condition. So that was a great day when he walked in.
I just sold a thermos for $21 or $22, just a thermos. The guy had the box but didn't have the thermos. I bought it this summer at a flea market and just sold it. I collect them some myself, but I just bought 2 lunch boxes last week for at a baseball card shop where the guy sells coins of baseball cards. But I gave him half of what he was asking for, and he didn't care because he was happy to get rid of them. Now those I'll keep myself, but there is money in good old metal lunchbox, even with a little surface rust.
Oh, I've sold some that were in horrible shape, and that for still $40-50 sometimes with no thermos. And I say this too, if someone comes into my store, they buy something from me online, and then they turn around and resell it, great. I want them to. I'm not the type of person that gets salty if someone buys something from me and then they try to sell it for double the price. I got my money out of it. That's all I care about. I made a profit.
Right.
So some people get really, really angry if you turn around and flip something that you paid a smaller price for, but it happens to me all the time. So that's the game. I mean, that's just the way it is. Okay. So that being said, yes, there is shipping, because the things that I show, you do have to pay for shipping. I go through pirate ship. So I do ship at the lowest rate. I don't overcharge for shipping. What pirate ship charges me is what I charge my customers. So like, for example, this is it isn't marked, and it's just a cool.
Now, Misty, what I'm going to do is, as you show things, I will make you solo like that.
Okay.
So we can, oh, stop it. You're beautiful. So that we can see the items better. And if you want to explain, if you know what that exactly is, Um,
I don't know what this is. But you know, some of the things I've had for a really long time too, and when I was just trying to open the shop and get stuff out, some of the stuff I didn't like research. So this is just, it's an older ceramic mug with the cowboy on it. There's no markings on the bottom of it, but I have $5 on this mug. And
okay.
that's the price that I had on it in the shop. Now, these items will be available on Wednesday. So I have things like that. And then things like, this is a really neat, it's a Hausberg Chicago. It's a blob top bottle. These are the kinds of bottles that, you know, were dug up, basically. They were discarded in probably a privy or a dump. And it's embossed here. There isn't a date on it. Now, they're cloudy and they will be cloudy. You can't really clean these. This is what they'll look like. I myself like this patina on a bottle. But on this bottle, I have $18. And it's blob top because there was once a cork in here. And it's kind of rounded. We have a lot of bottles. And then it does say on the side, it's embossed with Hausberg.
Right. Now,
so I think, like,
have you ever sold any of this stuff to like a buyer that does like Cracker Barrel?
No. I think it's every reseller's dream, at least a lot of the people that I talk to, is to sell to a movie studio.
Yeah.
That would be my dream, was to be, you know, I do sell a lot of things to Los Angeles though, but it doesn't say like NBC Studios or Warner Brothers Studios. So
right. So it's becoming someone's decor, but you're not sure who the end customer exactly is. Real quick, Myra has a question. Misty, do you insure your packages when you ship glass?
I do. You don't need to if you ship them priority, unless it is. Now, I have sold artwork, like, try to turn around, big pieces of artwork, like up there. I have shipped those. It's not fun, but I've done it. That, you know, the buyer has paid, you know, a couple $100 for it, because priority mail just insures up to $100. So I will, you know, I do pay for extra insurance if I need to. Sometimes too, even if something weighs under a pound and it's shipped priority, like I have sold some watches before, some vintage antique watches. I sold one for $250 to $300, and I will still ship it. It depends on if it's cheaper to ship it first class still and buy the additional insurance. But you can play around with that. You can try different options, but it just depends on the value of the item and how I'm shipping it, because you do get $100 insured when you ship things priority, which are things that are over 16 ounces or over a pound.
Okay. Now, what other stuff you have there to show?
I have Lunchbox.
There we go.
This one is made by Ohio Art. There's the bottom of it. And it's the Stars and Stripes, the little, probably from like 1976, the bicentennial era. Yeah. And I have $15 on this box. Okay. Does not have the thermos, but I mean, it's in really good.
Right. Clean. Yeah. I mean, a lot of the kids back in the day would write their name in it, or they'd have stickers all over it. Yeah. Huh?
I use rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol will get the Sharpie mark off. Yeah. Don't use a magic eraser though, because the magic eraser will also take the paint off.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've run into that where people have written, you know, Matt on the box, and it's like, well, my name's not, you know, you gotta find. Right. I mean, some collectors don't care, but you know, some.
You can also use rubbing alcohol and Goo Gone. You can use and hand sanitizer does work, and it's not as harsh as rubbing alcohol. It does have some alcohol agent in it, so it will still get it off, but it's less harsh than rubbing alcohol.
Right. Now, the stuff that you're showing, is this an auction or a buy it now type format that you do?
It's the first person that comments mine.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm live and the feed, I can see the chat and the feed. The first person that says it's mine gets it. But they have to send me within 24 hours. They have to send me an email with their contact information.
Okay.
A lot of the times my repeat customers, they just say, it's so-and-so, and I already have all their information. So if you've not bought something for me before, then I need all that information so I can ship it to you.
Right.
And honestly, and I do local pickup. So if someone's local, and they see something that they want, then I will. But that's what I did this morning. I came here early and I met a customer here that bought some things off of my live video, and she just met me here locally.
Okay. I've participated in auctions, and that's the thing now. What I'm seeing some people doing is they're making people pay for it right away through Venmo or PayPal, because you don't know who's serious or not, or if they change their mind that they're not paying.
I have had very, very good luck with people paying me. I have not. I've only had a local customer that didn't ever show up. I did have that. But everything that I have sold, people pay right away. They pay within the 24 hours. Yeah. And if they don't pay for it, and it's, then I'll just put it on eBay. So, right. And that's kind of the direction that I'm taking the shop. I'm cutting the shop in half, basically. Not even. I'm going to have a very small retail space. And then the majority of the shop is going to be my online business. So if I don't sell something, I'm going to list it on eBay.
Okay. So you're not going to take none of this home with you then? No.
Well, I have been, but I'm not going to anymore. Yeah. I don't have any more room. I don't live in a big house.
Right.
My garage and my dining room has been taken over. So I'm looking forward to using this.
That's how it is at home.
We don't eat dinner at our table. We work from it.
Right. That's how it is right now in my house. We have a 2-car garage and we can only park in one.
Yep.
And the house is now, and we were talking a little bit before the show because we were talking about your son being sick and my 19-year-old pulling some of the same stuff. And I already have a plan when he moves out in 2 years that'll become like the new YouTube eBay studio. And my wife goes, yeah, so you can fill that up with more junk.
Yeah, I know. My daughter's in college, and like my mannequin is in there, and like things, she's not using that room right now. When she comes home, I just take that stuff out. But right. With the reselling, you always have a bag of packing peanuts laying around or air pockets laying around, bubble wrap. It's just part of your decor in your home is a bag of packing peanuts. And then if you do have company over, then you're just like taking all that stuff and shoving it out in the garage, or you make it work. But
you're hiding it. I'm going to reveal the third clue is 1980. I was in the 3rd grade that year. So if you guys are following along, movie, the main star is a lady. 1980. Now
I was in kindergarten in 1980.
If anybody guesses right now, it won't even matter. It'll be towards the end. Oh, Sue's in here. She sells by Sue. I don't know if you know Sue or not. She does the show with Scott, the bearded picker, on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yes, right. Yeah. I was gonna say, she sounds familiar.
Yep.
And then Rachel, Superior Girl Vintage, she has a YouTube channel too, and she's watching. She lives in, I call it my homeland, but I'm not from the UP of Michigan. But Mackinac is I would love to retire there someday. And I know that's not in the UP, but it's close enough. You go over the bridge and you're in the UP, but Rachel lives near Mackinac in the UP, so in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. But it's just beautiful there. It's my favorite place in the whole world. And yes, I know the winters are horrible, but I don't care. I still love it.
T, thanks for stopping. My great finds for you. This is the young lady that I actually do. I come on her channel usually about twice a month. She's on our other channel, Auctions for You, and that's where I'm moving some stuff that I can't sell on Amazon sometimes. And you know, a lot of reseller lots and stuff. You bundle stuff together, but you know, it like you're saying, you know, you don't necessarily need a brick and mortar store all the time
Nope.
because you know it's different. Sometimes I would like to. I tell you, with me selling on Amazon and eBay, sometimes I would like to have a brick and mortar, maybe do like warehouse sales. But it's totally different than what you're doing because you're dealing with duplicate stuff, you know.
Well, and I mean, a lot of people have told me, I can't believe you're closing. It's my dream to have a brick and mortar store. But I'm telling you what, until you do it, you just don't. It takes up all of your time, all of your energy. And, you know, we were pretty much breaking even every year. You know, we weren't losing money, we weren't gaining money, but it depends on where you're at. Honestly, I mean, our location is okay, but we're not in a big city. We're not in a tourist area necessarily. So if you have a shop in a small town, it can't always be great. But if you are, I mean, we're on the square. We're on the square in our town too.
Right.
But you know, if you're in a touristy area or, you know, off a highway or where you're seen a lot more, you'll get more foot traffic. And we went into this business as a hobby. It isn't our it's not what pays our house payment. You know, it was more of a hobby, and it just wasn't worth the time that we were putting into it. And you know, 2,500 square feet of myself styling it, and you know, when you sell a piece of furniture, you got to figure out what you're going to do with all the stuff that's on that piece of furniture.
Your microphone changed a bit there.
Is that any
better? It went different. I don't know why.
Let's see. I don't know if I can audio. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like you're like in a tunnel or something like that.
Well, the heat just kicked on. Maybe that was part of it.
Yeah, and I can still hear you, but you're not quite as clear. So,
let me see if I can muted it. Let me go turn the heat off and heat down and see if that makes a difference.
No problem. I really want to thank everybody for stopping in. We got 39 people in here right now. Hey, Ed G, thanks for stopping. No, but that's not the good morning, Jennifer Hayes. Misty's microphone glitched out a little bit, so she's going to be right back here. Misty is from Indiana. She has a antique store, but she sells stuff online. And I found her through, you know, she does YouTube too. And I found her on Instagram and reached out to her and asked her to join us this week and talk about her business model and what she does. And she's back.
I don't know if that's any better or not.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep, you're back to normal. Hey, we got a quick question. Which websites or apps do you use to help determine value of an item?
I use eBay. I look at sold comps on eBay. You know, it's important, and that's to get a value on things. And I know that eBay is inflated about 10% from what I could get for in my brick and mortar. So I would price things, you know, 10 to 20% less than what they would sell on eBay. But when you sell on eBay, I do all of my listings best offer. So you're going to want to price it a little bit higher because people are going to, you know, more than likely will shoot you an offer. So if you price it at exactly what you see other comps for, sometimes you'll sell it right off the bat. But I get a lot of my sales come from best offer, and I promote all of my listings 1%, just 1%.
Oh, you do? Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how was eBay for you the fourth quarter? You know, there was a lot of talk about the glitches and different things.
I was one of the lucky ones. It didn't, I mean, I did have to go in. A lot of my listings were in the wrong category, and the size wasn't on there. I'm getting out of the clothing game. I still have some clothing listed. It just isn't, I don't enjoy buying it. I don't enjoy taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
It isn't that much of a profit for me. So the only clothing that I do buy is vintage clothing. I do well with vintage t-shirts, vintage sweatshirts. But I'm not doing clothing anymore. I don't know. I use eBay and it gives you an idea. It gives you a starting point. Sometimes you can't find it on eBay, and then y'all do a Google search. And then sometimes you'll see it on WorthPoint, but I don't pay for WorthPoint. So sometimes you can get an idea from it, but you just have to sometimes do a Google search and you'll see it sold at different websites. But I myself don't pay for WorthPoint or any of those paid worth value things. But you just kind of go with what a starting point is. And sometimes you might be pricing it too low and sometimes you might be pricing it too high, but then you learn from that.
Right.
And I never do auctions. I very rarely ever do auctions. And
if
you notice
on eBay, you mean?
eBay.
Right.
On eBay. If you notice, when I'm researching something, like say I was looking up this train, this little toy train. It's a Union Pacific 10 lithograph made by Marks train. And someone had it at an auction and say it sold for $5. And then you'll see a buy it now and it sold for $20. So I do auctions on things I just want to get rid of, basically.
Right.
And you just price it. You start the auction at what you're wanting to get out of it. Don't start it at 99 cents. Don't start it at $1 because you're going to sell it for $1 probably.
Right.
If you've had it for 2 years and it's not selling, then it was a bad buy. You learn from it. You don't buy that kind of thing again, and you move on. But with antiques, you have to constantly know what the market is. Glassware isn't hot right now, like depression glass isn't hot right now. You all remember when Pyrex was crazy? You know, people were going nuts over Pyrex, and the market's kind of dropping a little bit on certain Pyrex pieces. So you have to constantly research what is on trend. And the best way to do that, I have found, is through Pinterest, looking and see what people are buying for decor. Most of my buyers are home decor buyers. They're looking for things to decorate their home. I do get collectors, but the majority is a home decor. So if I'm looking at what the decor trends are, like thermoses, lunch boxes, ironstone is a big thing right now. So looking at what trends are helps me determine what I should and shouldn't buy.
Now, you don't do anything like flea marketing or anything like that, do you?
No, my dad does sometimes. It's flea markets. I tell you, I have props to the people that do set up at flea markets, because it is a lot of work. Or even, we've been invited to set up at different festivals, and stuff too. But, and we bought a trailer to kind of think that maybe we would do that every once in a while, but you got to take all your stuff, you got to stage it, you got to set it up, and then you got to take it all down.
Right.
That's a lot of work.
And hope it doesn't rain.
And hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
And then I think, I have a brick and mortar. Why am I going? I don't know. It's just not something that I'm interested in doing. But my dad will, if I have things in here that I'm like, I'm just donating this stuff. I've had it for 5 years. It's $1 and no one's buying it for $1. I'm going to donate it to Goodwill. And he throws a fit because he's like, I'm going to take it to the flea market. And he does.
Yeah.
And he loves it when he sells something for like more than what I had it for in the shop, or something that I was going to donate to Goodwill. He'd be like, you're going to donate that to Goodwill.
Yeah. All right. Hey, the next clue in this $20 giveaway to Misty's place is singer. So if you guys are just coming in, movie, lady, 1980, and a singer.
I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah, so it's
Do you want?
and it was in 1980. There's only one more clue, and that, that would that's
keep thinking.
Yeah, that would pretty much give it away. Now, you've had pretty good success on YouTube. I've seen that you're up to what, over 5,000 right now.
I'm at and I hate odd numbers. And every time I check my sub count, it's always at I think when I checked this morning, I was at 5,799. And it's always 99 when I check, and it just makes me so mad. Sometimes I think my husband will unsubscribe just to mess with me, so it's on an odd number. Yes. But when you look at your analytics on YouTube, you lose subscribers and you gain subscribers with every video, and that's okay. Because some people, they may like you at first, but then they don't like you anymore, and then they'll unsubscribe. But then you'll get 5 to 10 more subscribers in your next video.
Right.
People like Goodwill hauls. If you have a title and it has Goodwill haul in it, you are going to get views.
Goodwill, that's a good tip, because I'll do a Dollar General video, get 3 penny items, and get a bunch of watchers, Misty. But then I'll do just a Goodwill or a Salvation Army where I could turn 100 into 600, and I don't get as many views. So it must
be.
Yeah.
I know going into this that my home decor videos aren't going to get as many views as a haul video. Mm-hmm. I'm going to film today. When we're finished, I'm filming. My husband and I went to all the Goodwill outlets in Indianapolis on Valentine's Day. That's what we do every year. It's romantic to us because we enjoy doing it. But I'm getting ready to film the haul from that. And I know just saying Goodwill outlet haul will get people to subscribe or to watch my video.
Right.
And I think the fact that I have a brick and mortar is appealing to some people too. And I will be filming how I'm transforming the shop from a 2,500 square foot brick and mortar to maybe 1,000 square foot brick and mortar. And then my eBay reselling business is going to be the majority of it. But but then I have people that say you could film yourself folding laundry and I would still watch. People like the vlog. Then I sit and think, I am not that interesting of a person, but the vlogs seem to do pretty good. But then sometimes videos I think will do well don't.
Right.
So you just never know. And it all depends on if YouTube's pushing your video or not. That matters too. And I think
as more people comment and thumbs up, from what I understand,
thumbs down.
Yeah, it kind of generates. Same thing with Facebook. As you could put something up there, and if it gets a little traction, forget it. But as you do, more, it gets traction. So
YouTube likes consistency. I've been killing myself, but I've been trying to put out a video every day. And I wasn't doing videos on the weekend, but I did a little experiment. I did a video this weekend, and it's done pretty well. So you just kind of you sometimes have to find your niche. And I think if you're posting at least 3 videos a day around the same time, that's that consistency that YouTube likes. But, you've got some YouTubers that are huge, like, the Shane Dawsons and stuff. They can post a video once every 3 months and it gets millions of views, and they could have one word in their title and they'll still get millions and millions of views.
Yeah.
So your titles on your SEO and YouTube are just as important as your SEO titles in eBay. So if you look at it that way.
Right. Good morning, Dee. Thanks for stopping, flipping. And Don says, Pat, she's better to look at. Well, I'm not going to argue that.
But we're twins today. Look, we're coordinating.
That's right. I just don't have a camo shirt. Is there anything else before we go here that you want to show, that you want to feature, that you think is really unique?
Well, this is one thing, and I don't have this priced yet. I will be working on pricing it for the sale I have on Wednesday. This is something that I think is kind of neat, and it is still in the box. It's the USS Scorpion toy. It's still in the original box, and it has all that cool graphic on the box. Never been taken out of the package. The box has a little bit of issues here up here at the top, but
now,
it's made by.
How did you come across this item?
This is something that Dad has found. My dad has he's like the vintage whisperer, I guess. He can go to a place and find really, really good stuff. But I think he's had this for a very long time. A lot of the stuff that we have, he might have had for 30 years. So It's stuff that you just don't see much anymore. But so this is a cool piece, and it's not a water toy apparently, but it's made by multiple toy makers, which I've never heard of that company, but it does have cool graphics on it. The fact that it's never been played with, is a plus.
Right.
And
now,
then
how much are you asking for that?
Well, I don't have the price on that yet.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of this stuff he has in little hidey holes in his apartment. He'll bring things down when he's ready to sell it. Because sometimes he just likes looking at some of this stuff,
Right.
Then I have like old games, tiddlywinks.
It's hard for some people to let things go at times. So
it is.
Right. Hey, Tommy.
And I have a lot of enamelware pieces, and I do have like really beautiful furniture pieces, as well. So it's just a lot of stuff, a lot of mixture of different things.
Right. Hey, Tommy, the Bargain Effect. Thanks for stopping.
Hi, Tommy.
Looking good on YouTube and Facebook. I appreciate it. This is the first time I've actually streamed on both. I know some of my. It's kind of hard doing YouTube because a lot of your friends don't kind of get it. like I bet you I probably have only 10. Not even 10 people that subscribe to me from Facebook.
Isn't that funny? I'll post watch my new YouTube video on my Facebook page, and nobody likes it. I think people were annoyed. They don't get it.
No.
But, I'll post it on Instagram, where the majority of my followers are social media, other followers or other resellers, and I get lots of likes. I post it on Facebook. Nobody likes it. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, now I've gotten some new friends on Facebook through doing YouTube that I've done videos with. But now because Wade talked me into doing Instagram, I'm doing a lot of people are coming over there to find me.
Great.
I like it for that. I just got to get to know how to do all those little cool features to do. But
one thing that it took me a while to figure out, make sure that your Instagram app is updated, because I was irritated that I couldn't do the music or the fun little graphics and stuff. But it turns out I didn't have the most recent update on my phone. So make sure that you got your update.
Okay, we're getting down to the last couple minutes now. If you guys remember, it was movie, lady, 1980, and singer. And this is going to be a $20 credit to Misty's store. I'm going to highlight this but I'm going to give the last clue, and this will pretty much give it away. The last clue is Dolly.
Oh.
So
I know what it is.
The first person who basically guesses the movie in the chat, now it'll be, what I see first, will get the $20 credit with Misty's eBay store or her store there. She'll be Wednesday. So we'll go a couple more minutes here. And if anyone's watching this on the replay, if you guys basically want to comment down below the movie, or I will then later, probably like 2 days later, and we have a winner. It's Buying Space, Myra, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So that's the movie. I was in the 3rd grade, and what a funny movie. Dolly Parton, and she guessed it. If I would have done Dolly right away, people would have guessed it, but
People would have known.
yeah. So, Myra, you'll get in contact with Misty. I have a link down below, and she is on Instagram. She will hook you up, and you talk to her. Myra buys things from auctions and stuff, what you like, and I'm glad that we could do this.
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
Do you have any? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you have anything
Well,
that you want to plug?
You go ahead.
Well, you're the guest. I'm the host. I want you to.
No, you go ahead. I was just gonna say, when you're watching someone's YouTube channel, even if you just comment hi, you don't have to like comment a big long sentence or a question. You can just say hi. I always say type random letters. You know, it doesn't matter. The more engagement that a YouTube channel gets, the more YouTube likes that. So if you're supporting someone just by watching their video, leave a little comment. It doesn't have to make any sense.
Right.
Just type random letters. But so that's all I was going to say.
Right. That's great advice. Now I'm going to have a Wednesday. I'm doing something at 10:30 a.m. Viewer mail, and I'm doing something actually with a Christmas tree. I keep a Christmas tree up year round, so people have been sending me ornaments to decorate the tree that are from like thrift shops. Well, yeah, and I like. I
didn't know that. I've got some I need to be sending you then.
All right. Well, I'd appreciate it. And actually what I do is I will do a little video on it, and I'll feature it on Instagram, and I got this in from Misty, Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter, and I do a little video on it. And then at the end of the year, basically, is to have the tree filled with about 50 ornaments that have come from people from YouTube.
That's a really neat idea.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to be going live Wednesday at 9 from 9 to 10. So then you just watch my video, and then you just go and watch Pat's video, 10:30.
There you go. Yeah, 10:30. Now, so you go basically live once a week?
Yes. I didn't go live last Friday, and because we went to the bins and it was Valentine's Day. But I'm changing my schedule. Wednesdays just works better for me. I can drop my son off at school and then just come right here and go live. I have everything set up. We also are going to be open, the whole store. We have it set up that we're going to be open on February 29th, a Saturday. So if you're in, a close enough area to Bedford, we will be open that day, and the whole store will be 20% off. So we're trying to clear out some stuff. But yes, every Wednesday it's going to be Wildflower Wednesdays from 9 to 10. We'll play around with that time frame and see. But you can always message me if you see something later on that you want to purchase. And I'm not scared of shipping big things. So
now, do you have a website at all outside of eBay?
No, well, we do. Our Wildflower Antiques does have a website, but not that you can purchase items from. But my eBay is Wildflower 812, and then Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter on Instagram.
Okay.
And then obviously my YouTube channel. And I do have a Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter on Facebook that I need to do work on a little bit more, but it's on Facebook as well.
Okay. Now, do you get people will ask you, hey, I got something, and I do you know the price of it? Do people seek?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If people have a question on something, whether it be YouTube related, whether it be antiques related, whether it be eBay related, absolutely. I've always said that people can send me an email. If I don't know the answer, I will lead you to someone that I know does. A lot of times people have a lot of questions about shipping, and I always lead them to Rally Roots. Has a really great shipping video. Very, very simple, very, very easy to follow. He also just did a video on YouTube. So I learned a lot from that video. So if you have a YouTube channel, make sure that you check out Rally Roots. It's their latest YouTube video from this month. They show about what they make on YouTube.
Right, yeah.
But it was very, very helpful. informative video.
Yeah, Ryan's Ryan and Allie are great. They're very smart. I've talked to them. They actually participated back in December. I did a Christmas special over 3 days, and they were one of the 47 channels that did a Christmas greeting. So we got someone in from Norway real quick.
Oh wow.
Auctions for you, 272. Congrats on 2K. Thank you, T. I appreciate the support. If anyone hasn't subscribed to, I'm going to be actually on T's this coming Saturday at 8 o'clock, where I'll be auctioning off. I just went and picked up 1,000 brand new DVDs and Blu-rays unopened, and I've been purchasing stuff over the last 2 weeks just to do that, auction show with her. So if you guys could, she's got the hours. She's not monetized yet because she doesn't have the subs yet. She's at about 760. But she has the time, and now once she gets to 1,000, then I want to mention real quick. I'm going to highlight Heather here. Heather's going to be a guest on my channel in the future. She said she got to meet them, and I remember at the meetup last year. So Heather's going to be, anybody who's watching this, if you think that you would like to come on, reach out to me and discuss, what you do, and if I think that you can bring something to the channel that people would like to talk about, and is interesting, I'd like to have you. I like to mix it up and have different people. Traditionally, when I do ask people, I don't give them a week's notice. I basically start talking to them, and I say, hey, would you like to? And it's usually, I think I asked you originally, we talked about 3 or 4 months ago, and then it was, process, and I try to get you to know me and me to know you, and so you feel comfortable coming on, and this way. But I don't ask questions usually before we go live, because I want to be just like if I met you, so that it's raw and fresh to the audience.
Yeah, that's how I am too. When I'm making a video, even if it's a canned video or a recorded video, once I hit record, I don't have a plan what I'm going to say. What comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth, and I mean, I can always edit it later if I don't like it. If I say something that maybe I shouldn't have said, but I don't plan anything. I think it's best to be you.
Right. Well, I enjoy meeting new people, and that's part of being the traveling picker, is sharing the stories and the people, and I learned from it. So I'm hoping that everyone that was watching today learned something from Misty, and you guys go check out her channel, comment on one of her videos, and Myra was the winner, buying space. You get a $20 credit for her store, and that's
and
great.
I'll be going live Wednesday.
Right. So if anyone, do you have anything else you want to add on before we go here, Misty?
No, I was just going to pan over to see this is the table of things that I'm going to be auctioning, or not. I don't want to say auction, because I don't really do an auction. I do just more of a sale.
Right.
But I just, go around and pick different things that of different price ranges. I do, I may show something that's a little bit more pricey, but I have a mug for $5.
Right.
I do a bunch of different things at different price levels, and I kind of get an idea of what my customers are looking for. I sell planters very, very well, so if I have planters, I'm gonna try to pull them out and show them.
Right. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you. Hang tight. We're gonna say goodbye, and I'll talk to you a second after the show. But I do appreciate everyone coming on. If you guys could give me thumbs up and go check out Misty's channel. I want everyone to have a great Monday and have a good week. And again, she will be 9 o'clock Wednesday, and then 10:30 I will be live too. So if you guys want to come back and check us both out on Wednesday morning, I would greatly appreciate it. Everyone have a great day.
Bye, guys.